A last day thriller is on the cards after Glamorgan collapsed again after Ben Wright had scored 100 to put his side on top on the third day of the LV County Championship match against Hampshire in Cardiff. After a late start because of a storm, Glamorgan resumed their second innings on 73 for 3, which gave them a lead of 20. And for the first time this season, they managed to fashion a good partnership through Wright and Stuart Walters. Wright looked in good form right from the start of his innings, pulling, driving and cutting a succession of boundaries as the Welshmen finally put their batting troubles of this summer behind them. Walters, who until this innings had been opening the batting with little success, also looked comfortable as his side began to bat themselves into a strong position at a ground where runs for everybody have been hard to come by thus far. Both batsmen reached 50s, the first by any Glamorgan batsman so far this summer, and they did something else not seen before by the home side. They put on a 3-figure stand. That partnership finally realised 104 runs. Walters was the man out in the afternoon as he edged a late cut to Michael Bates to depart for 54. Wright appears to be the kind of player who makes the most of an innings once he gets in. It's just the getting in which sometimes proves difficult. He was by now looking in top form as he played a succession of superb shots off all of the Hampshire attack as he kept his side ahead in this fascinating game. The batsmen may not agree, but some of the pitches, including the ones in Cardiff, have led to some exhilarating and exciting cricket so far. Wright again dominated the 5th wicket stand, this time with Jim Allenby, but having got to 210 for 4, things suddenly went bad for the home side. Not for the first time, it took some smart keeping from Michael Bates to end Allenby's innings on 11. Moses Henriquez followed in Hamza Riazuddin's next over. That not a good ball to leave. Riazuddin was now on fire, and in his next over he had Mark Wallace caught at point. And the bowler made it 4 wickets in 4 overs when Graham Wagg chipped him to David Balcombe at mid-off. It gave the youngster his first 5-wicket haul in just his 6th first-class match. Having now slipped to 237 for 8, all of Wright's hard work was being undone, but at least he completed the 5th 100 of his career. It came with his 12th 4, and he'd reached his target of 150 deliveries. It was an extremely important innings, not only for him, but also to boost the confidence of his teammates. But could he now go on? He needed to, just to increase that lead. Alas for Wright, that was his final scoring shot. On 104, he turned a ball from Danny Briggs into the hands of James Vince to depart at 256 for 9. And 3 balls later, Balcombe yorked Dean Koska to dismiss Glamorgan for 256, well short of where they might have been at 210 for 4. Riazuddin finished with 5 for 61. So that set Hampshire a target of 204 to put the opening game defeat to Gloucestershire behind them. They could hardly have made a worse start, as Jimmy Adams edged an exuberant Wagg behind for a duck in the first over. Then in the 5th, Wagg struck again, having Liam Dawson LBW for a single at 3 for 2. So now we really had a good game on. Simon Katic has of course seen it all before, and his experience was always going to come in handy for Hampshire. His was the prize scalp as far as Glamorgan were concerned. He received some good support from Vince, who played some neat shots to help his side forget about those early losses. Steadily, this pair were knocking off some very important runs. They'd taken the total to 43 when Allenby got the big wicket of Katic, who was legged before for 20. Hampshire's immediate response was to play some shots, with Vince and Sean Irvine adding a fiery 25 in only 4 overs. Their side appeared to be in a hurry to get over the finishing line. Hardly surprising given some of the weather we've been having this week. But they were pegged back again when Vince was trapped in front for 28 to leave his side on 68 for 4, still 136 runs shy of their target. So who was the money on now? Glamorgan were now probably slightly ahead again, but Bates and Irvine ensured that they had at least evened the game up and possibly made Hampshire favourites before bad light ended the day early. Had they lost any more wickets before the close, the game would have been in Glamorgan's favour. As it is, with Irvine on 37 and Bates on 13, Hampshire go into the final day on 112 for 4, now needing a further 92 runs to claim the victory. But given the events of the first 3 days, only a fool would put their house on the outcome at this stage.